everyone, I'm Ruth from The Ruthless Maker, and I'm standing in Barrie, Ontario in my backyard ice rink, or what will be my backyard ice rink. Today I'm going to talk to you about bracing your rink boards so that you can avoid blowouts. Here's what I'm using to brace my ice rink. The first is ice rink brackets. The second is 2x2 wood stakes. The third is L brackets for the corners. And the fourth are mending plates. Let me show you how I install them. So these ice rink brackets are what I use to connect two boards to one another. They go into the ground using these spikes and they hold the seam together in place. Another spot that I use these ice rink brackets is in the middle of the board to help prevent any bowing of the board from the water pressure. Brackets to use, so I am going to be using these stakes that I just made and driving them into the ground behind each board, and so this will help prevent the water pressure from pushing these boards out and causing a potential catastrophic blowout. So how to do it is I have the stake, I have my rubber mallet, and I just place the stake kind of at the midway point behind the board, and I just drive it in with the mallet. And you want to hammer it in so it's in line with your board. Now that I have all of my stakes in at each mid-board section, the next thing I'm doing is adding on these corner brackets to all the corners, as well as these mending plates across each horizontal location where the two boards meet up. How I'm attaching them is I have this box here of just 8x3/4 length screws, and I'm going to be screwing these in, and I'm doing two corner brackets per corner, and then one mending plate per horizontal joint. So in this particular corner, I'm going to be putting on the brackets on the inside of the rink as opposed to on the outside. And that's because my corners didn't line up perfectly. So there's a bit of a jut out on this board here on the back side. But that doesn't mean I can't attach them properly, so I'm going to be doing that on the inside. And what's great about the brackets on the inside is when you screw it in, it actually helps pull the boards together and make the gap smaller. It's also important to remember to pick up all the screws you drop, because screws under a tarp is a recipe for disaster. Apply your mending plates. So your mending plates are these flat brackets, and we're using these to secure all the joints where you have two boards meeting up with one another. So what this will do is it'll help prevent the boards from separating under the pressure of the water. I'm attaching them using the same screws that I used to attach the corner brackets, and these are 8x3/4 inch length screws. You just want to make sure that the screw length that you choose is not greater than the thickness of your boards, because what you don't want to have happen is have your screw tips poke through the other side, because it can puncture your liner, which would be very bad. So I just line these up in the middle of the board and screw them in. Okay, so we're going to do this at every seam all the way around the rink. So we finished adding in all the bracing for the rink. The rink is looking pretty good. It's getting colder. We're almost to the point where it's just a matter of time before we can add the tarp and fill. I hope you enjoyed watching. You can follow me on Instagram @TheRuthlessMaker for more behind the scenes, or subscribe to my channel.